say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud down, yo yo. Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout down, yo yo.
Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Hello there. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun live. And if you are just joining me, because I've had people waiting already. So if you are just joining me, just do what we always do first. Yeah, you can subscribe to Maiyegun's Diary Politico tonight if you haven't already. You can also, give me that thumb up under the video before you get settled in, so that, you might forget that until the end again. However, whichever works for you, you are welcome. Thank you very much for joining me again tonight. I decided to talk about this tonight again. I've done many series about Atonda, Ogun, Shango Lere. Is it Shango Lere or Ogun Lere? In the last 24 hours on Maiyegun's Diary, we've had guests, people who came on to share their views about what is going on in Nigeria. Last time we had Barrister Dele Farotimi. Then today we had Omoyele Sowore, who also came on to share his own view about having the revolution first before the breakup of Nigeria. As much as we are all talking about the problem, and then at the same time finding the different solutions on the problems, to the problems, so our own, supposed solution, break it up and save lives. We have explained the theory. We have, explained the reason behind the theory of if we actually love the people, with what is going on right now, with what the politicians have turned the country into, and what this is still going to lead to, it will be appropriate to let the people decide if they still want to be part of Nigeria and under what condition. This conversation is what they don't want to happen, because having that conversation is pretty much like having a conversation about the breakup of Nigeria, which will be good. At least you'll get to know those who wants to stay and those who wants to leave. My guests in the last 24 hours have been they agree with us that Nigeria is not working. Something needs to change. However, they are asking that we should be a bit, ignore anything that will be violence and all of that. But again, we shouldn't let anybody define what we stand for and why. They might think that the end result of the request to demand for self-determination in Nigeria by all ethnic groups, no matter the numbers, they have the right to decide if they still want to be part of this contraption. Okay, but we must also be very clear. Asking for self-determination is not a ask or a call for war, except for those who have taken it as a call for war. But we should be very, very clear that people have the right to decide if they want to be part of a country or not, no matter what the agreement you think binded them with that country. So that agreement needed to be brought to the public, right? Or eventually, it is either whether you call it revolution or you call it war or whatever you would like to call it, it will come to be. So we should let people know that asking for self-determination is not a call for war, and we shouldn't let them continue to propagate that. Because the moment they get used to it now, telling us that calling for self-determination is a call for war, many people will be put off. And we cannot let people be put off. Nigeria has gotten to a stage whereby everyone needed to be alerted. Everyone needs to be alerted enough to know what is going on around them so that they can learn how to react to it, defend themselves. We can talk about it, but there are people who are actually the victims on the ground. Right there, who are facing this imminent threat. So it is the right thing to do. Let people know what is going on, and they can be prepared on how to defend themselves. However, Tinubu is supposed, because there's this agenda already. According to them, there was an arrangement between Tifnumbu, and Bokwari. This arrangement was what, according to them, led to Tifnumbu changing his mind twice about Bokwari. He publicly agreed that Bokwari is a divisive personality, somebody that will eventually break up Nigeria. He said it, Tifnumbu, before the merger, the alliance, the unholy alliance that brought them together in 2014, 2015. So they said there was an unwritten agreement that immediately Bokwari finished his own tenure, Tifnumbu will take over. It was that arrangement which people are now questioning, that they will not, by any means, right, be binded by that arrangement anymore. And that is the conflict of interest that the Yorubas are currently, the dilemma that the Yorubas are currently facing. And I have to be very, very clear about it too, because we can't deny it. They are pushing for presidency because they believe that the northern Nigeria, who now hold sway, they hold the power. They can do and undo, because they have shown them when the alliance started. I'm telling you this simply because you can see why so many people don't believe in the solution that some people are preferring, especially a solution that has to do with maybe Yorubas should just fight to be president, or the Igbos should fight to be president. The entrenched problem, the the division within the country, and the causes of this division is so massive that no presidential post, no presidential, compensation can make up for the divided Nigeria. And I'll tell you more on this program. However, they continue because, well, they made a deal. They said they agreed to a deal in 2014 that the moment Bukwari finishes, Tifnumbu will take over. Meanwhile, for the past 6 years, we have seen it. It's evident how much of how much of a vows, how much of kind of a hatred they have shown to the same person that they told us orchestrated the emergence of Bukwari as the president of Nigeria, Tifnumbu. We have seen how much the northern Nigeria, including their youth, I'm talking about their political class now, especially those who are so much involved in this APC, Egbekegbe arrangement. They dragged Yoruba into it. They told us that we'll be safe. They told Yorubas that we'll be prosperous. They told us that the Yoruba land will be developed. They told us that our children will be safe. Our people will be safe. Our farmers will be safe on their farms. In fact, it will be the best thing to happen to Yorubas, the best alliance. But what they didn't tell us then was that all those promises, all those lies that are pretty much, obviously lies today, that they told us, they were telling us those lies because of the personal gain that they promised Tifnumbu. Now, over time, we have seen how much they have turned his bag carrier, Ikene Shatabandu, the fake pastor, Ruga, the vice president, to Bokwari. Yeah, we have seen how they have turned him into a shadow, a complete shadow of what they told us he would be. They told us he was going to be running the economy. Bokwari will be fighting the Boko Haram. And then fake pastor Ruga will be fighting will be working on the economy. Today, Ikene Shatabandu is now locked up in a room. I'm even better than him, because it's pretty much just somebody in a room, like a blogger, who has now turned to a motivational speaker, aspire to perspire. That wasn't the plan when they agreed to the 2014 takeover. However, let's cut the story of the 6 years short. Today, Tifnumbu is more mad than before. You see, you might say he took that decision based on his selfish interest. Now that has burnt him over time, his own, his own proteges, his own proxies, business, proxies, those who covers for him, I call them is the Abobakus, those who covers for him. Yeah, many of them have lost a lot of political fortune, right? Even though their people lost more. which are the real Yoruba people. We've lost more with this alliance they said they dragged us into. Okay, so they've lost more. They've lost a lot. Okay, but yet they were being hopeful because somebody within that same northern criminal cabal that he dragged himself into in 2014. Someone is telling him that that unwritten arrangement of 2014 is still intact. They will make him president. And now it will be used further to undermine the Yoruba people. And that is where you, as a Yoruba man, should never, by any means, fall for that trick. The trick is to make you believe that Buhari is the problem. The moment Buhari is gone, they can solve the problem. They can fix the problem. Okay? But that's a lie. That's another lie that you probably, whether you supported them or not, you probably heard them say the same thing. What do you call it? 6 years ago. And today, everything that they said they were going to prevent from happening, everything they told you that they will prevent from happening has happened. School children kidnapping has escalated, and the same Tinubu, who is now currying himself to the northern, and the person is actually currying himself to us now. It is the Gandola of Kano. According to them, they said at a point they thought Tinubu would be made the president in 2023, yeah? And Gandola of Kano, that thief, the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, that guy would now deputize Tinubu. So it's just like making Anini and Oyenusi the president, the president and the vice president. So that permutation and all of these have nothing to do with their people, not in Kano, not in northern Nigeria, not in southern Nigeria, not in southwest Nigeria, not in Yoruba land, not even in Lagos. Do you get that now? But they are pursuing it because it seems that Tinubu needs to call the Maalus, Egbon, in order for him to at least continue to believe that he can still be president. Today, we read it in the news that he is doing exactly what they told him to do. It was the one they sent to Yorubas in 2014. And today, we are now what? We are now suffering. We are now suffering from the consequences of that decision. They are about to make it worse. And that's where the romance and the disgrace will come in. Okay? So it was the one they sent out then to tell us that, oh, Yorubas, you have been shortchanged in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the people that are now trying to be one Nigeria, they are more tribalistic than you can ever imagine. Tinubu is a local champion. According to this, what do you call these Fulani criminals, Tinubu is what? Is a local champion, a very useful and willing tool in the hand of the same Sokoto Caliphate. See, they might accuse us of being kind of tribal and not being nationalistic. The reason why we should be very honest to ourselves honest with ourselves tonight is this, okay? Tinubu was sent to the Yorubas, just like so many other Igbo politicians were sent to the Igbos. Tinubu delivered 52% of Yoruba votes, rigged, bought, and everything, manipulated, all of that, right? Not genuine Yoruba votes, by the way, but they were able to give them 52% of the declared votes. Okay, but the Igbo politicians couldn't deliver because the Biafrans are, well, you know the story. They couldn't sell APC or sell Bokwari. They even have to resort into using some devilish, devious means to get themselves to take over power in the eastern part of Nigeria. You know the story. But in 2014, Tinubu delivered because he thought that was all it takes. Apart from his money, apart from his, his clout and all of that, yeah, he believed he delivered. Therefore, he deserved to be the national leader, right? So that mirage of becoming president, he knows that mirage has been shattered. He knows that. But at the same time, he can still pretty much call the Malu Bodas, okay? Yorubas who he dragged into this in 2014, the same Yorubas are now saying, we want to leave. Everyone is now asking, how are we going to leave? I'm going to tell you how Yorubas will leave Nigeria, okay? And I'll also tell you tonight, well, to let you know that there are already efforts, legitimate efforts. We know we are dealing with criminals, criminals that will do everything to criminalize legitimate demands, okay? But nevertheless, I can tell you that it is not just about the talk, okay? It is now more than that. What that plays out to be at the end of the day, we'll all wait to find out, but it is beyond just asking. So 2014, they were able to deceive those they were able to deceive in Yoruba land to work and bring in this calamity. They promised everything. Yorubas are now endangered in Nigeria, whatever they want to call it. Yes, you might say it is not just the Yorubas. We should work together and end the problem. I've heard that many times. Oh, let us all just, it's not just the Yorubas that are affected. It's not just the Igbos that are affected. It's not just this and that is affected. You know what I mean? So we should all work together and build a country. I have heard that many times. And as great as that might have, sounded to you, you should also look further. Who are those that will come together? And then when you say come together to what? To fight the terrorists or to fight those who are aiding and abetting the terrorists? Yeah? Well, maybe we will come together someday to do that. Okay? But as it stands now, people are now so more concerned about staying alive in the Nigeria that promised them safety, prosperity, led by Tinubu. And the same Tinubu has abandoned the Yorubas right now. And if you don't understand what that means, apart from the grandstanding, apart from the all risers, apart from the noisemakers that want to tell you that Tinubu is a super political, calculator, is a genius. When you read people who say that to you, they are just the regular sellers, the all risers of Yoruba land. We have them everywhere. I think they call them Fulefus in Biafra. However, these are people who knows that the political calculation that has turned Tifnumbu to a docile person, somebody that has become deaf and dumb, right? Even so foolish when it comes to expressing his own views, when it comes to the people he claimed to love, the Yoruba people, or when it comes to that Nigeria, which he once told us that he doesn't believe in one Nigeria. He believed more in, Yoruba's self-rule. That was what Tinubu told the whole world in 1997. 2 years later, it was paraded, it was elected and he became the governor of Lagos State. Therefore, he started promoting one Nigeria. He's done so well for himself and he's done so worse for the people he claimed to love. Okay? So, apart from the all risers and the rest, where is Yoruba land today? And what will you say if you have to actually picture what they told you? For example, look at this. Forget about the Loriro. Just look at this. Remember
work with you
told you
to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
They told you that? We're going to spend money on education. What is the state of education right now? We're going to give you a country that is not corrupt. 6 years after that, Nigeria is now the most corrupt country in the whole world. Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the whole world. Nigeria is about to become the country with the highest unemployment rate in the whole world. Nigeria Naira is one of the trashiest currency in the whole world. Hello? 6 years. But he needed that presidency. He needed, I don't know for why, but he needed it so bad that I personally think He doesn't believe he needs the Yorubas to do that. He just needed to say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, to these guys who he was in the same room with in 2014. And they probably planned a Nigeria that you now have today, that Nigerians will become refugees in another country. And Tinubu will not be able to say it. That a Tinubu will come out today to tell us that we should use minimum force on the terrorist. A Tinubu will come out today to promote grazing. He said, okay, sorry, promote ranching or ruga and he's now pretending, said, let us now rent it out to anybody who wants to start ranching. They are already doing that. They are doing all of this because they have no ball to ask for what they told the people they will ask for or the people they will get. They said they will give Nigerians true federalism. What was true federalism? It was true federalism that is lacking in Nigeria, that is leading to everybody asking to go their separate ways. Do you understand that? In Nigeria as a country is meant to be a federal republic a federal republic where every component of that country, right, has a say in what happened in that country, whereby every part of that place have a say in how they will be governed. True federalism requires that you develop according to your pace. You promote whatever you think promotes your people in the same federation. And with this mutual respect and regard, whatever they are making in Nasarawa, whatever they are generating in Nasarawa, they can use it to take care of people of Nasarawa. Whatever they are generating in Sokoto, they can use it to take care of people in Sokoto. True federalism means that Sokoto money stays in Sokoto, Kaduna money stays in Kaduna, Biafra money stays in Biafra, and Oduduwa money stays in Oduduwa land. Do you get what I mean? Every penny. Then don't do us and the Biafrans or the Arewans or the Savannahs or the Jaws and what have you. They can decide whatever they want to give to the center to keep the center running. Yes, they can. They can agree on what kind of tax. What kind of tax they want to pay to the center for the center to keep running. And they would also tell the center the numbers of National Guard they will send to the center to protect the country. Meanwhile, every part of the place protect themselves according to their own rules and dictates. That's what a federation is. You respect every boundary. The UK that created Nigeria, what they had in mind was to have a 4-country. Well, I suppose, because when they created Northern Nigeria, as they amalgamated back then, Northern Nigeria, Midwest, Western Nigeria, Eastern Nigeria, that's like 4. So you can call that England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales. And if you put that into context, that means everybody should be able to do what promotes their people more. They rule themselves. They make laws for themselves. I live in Scotland, the part of the United Kingdom. What unites them is that respect. The respect for the Scottish people to decide what they want and fight for it as much as they want, even if they are considered smaller in the union. But they are respected. Why is that? They are not replicated in that Nigeria. Politicians, that's what they said. That's what Tinubu said. They were going to give true federalism. They said, among other things, it's so important because the reason why everybody is so disenfranchised is because everything is decided at the center. Therefore, everyone wants to kill for the center, and everybody wants to do whatever it takes for the center, including if they watch their people being killed. And people are tired. They are tired of these same people they trusted, making the same mistake, selfish decisions without considering the consequences. The consequences is that people are being affected, and you cannot rule that out. And then you cannot say the people that are now being affected with all these consequences, they are asking for too much if they ask to break up. That would be so unfair. And that is where those who believe that, yes, Nigeria is not working, let's do something, as well as those who said Nigeria is not working, don't do anything, break it up. Where we are all missing it there is that the reaction of people who have been abandoned, who have trusted and betrayed for so long, yeah, their reactions can no longer be controlled or contained by the same people who felt like they had the solution yesterday, but they are so timid, so scared to push for that solution. And that is where Tinubu comes in. So if you listen to someone like me talking about why a Tinubu is never a choice, a Tinubu's idea is never anything anybody should in any way believe in anymore. Okay? Whatever they have told you, they've told you a lot. If you have forgotten most, I can remind you. And the reason why you should remember is that if you believe them again, I mean, by any means, if you do believe them again, giving them any second thought, or you believe something could happen, you are going to be making the same mistake. But there's something you are missing, and that will be the consequences of your belief. Because, yeah, 2014 seems like forever. That was 6 years ago. The people who made that happen are now those who are saying Nigeria can be fixed. They have the solution. They are not bold enough to tell you the problem. They are not bold enough to tell you that Bokwari is a failure. Because if they say that, definitely, whatever they've taken away from them will be finalized and cemented. They believe they can still play the mumu by lying to us without considering the consequences. So Showore said, well, maybe we should have a revolution before we break up. Whatever you want to call it. Yes, everybody has been throwing words around, right? All this while, restructuring, revolution. Yeah, they all sounded the same thing to me. Protest, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, national conference, national confab, whatever you want to call it. There's something that's going to happen. If you ask for revolution, like people have been, clamoring too, and then you also ask for a breakup, and the people we are talking about who told us that they could do better, now that they have failed, they are not interested in answering any question or providing any better solution than for us to keep the status quo. So if we are going to say, okay, no status quo, we are going to go for the kill, right? Call it whatever you're going to call it. There's going to be something that's going to happen. Don't work yourself too much. Don't work yourself up too much about, revolution, we don't like. No, don't worry. What is going on right now is called the resistance. The resistance to the status quo. Resistance to Nigeria, which many people agreed with, right? So resistance, rejecting the status quo Nigeria, is already a revolution that is going on. Now, when they now tell us that break it up is violence, we saw protests, peaceful protests that turned bloody because the government of Nigeria decided to kill the peaceful protesters. That didn't turn bloody on the part of the protesters. It was on the part of the government, okay? But whatever we now want to call it, this is where I want to bring everybody in. I mean, a closure to what has been happening or what you have been following on Maiyegun's diary in the last 24 hours. There should be a closure that says, yeah, a lot is going on right now. We have Ilana Yoruba that is now coordinating so many other, groups, Yoruba groups in Yoruba land and outside Yoruba land that are not just working on awareness only, raising funds to promote the education of why Yorubas have been having it so bad, okay, in Nigeria. This Ilana Yoruba, they have gone further to state and put their legitimate demand for self-rule, self-determination, a peaceful self-determination, a peaceful separation from Nigeria. That's the legitimate way to do it, okay? They have gone further to put that at the UNPO, right? And they have also called on the political class in Yoruba land, which I personally believe their advocacy is really, really, really making, a lot of a difference now. It's no longer about talking about it. It's about acting on it. So they have decided that they are going to pressure every House of Assembly in Yoruba land, every House of Assembly house in Yoruba land, as well as every politician representing Yoruba people in the National Assembly, it is the right way to go. Whether that is going to work or not, it is the right way to go. So that is just to tell you that those who are asking to separate from Nigeria, especially the Oduduwa Republic campaigners, they are not asking for war. If there is any war that ever happens because of asking for self-determination in Yoruba land today, it is not because the people are asking for it. It is because Nigeria and the Nigeria establishment will rather respond with violence, right? And because the people knows that the Nigerian government are going to respond with violence, right? The people are also going to be prepared for it. If you expect Nigerian government to respond with violence, attacking and killing these legitimate agitators, which are doing everything legitimately, not intimidating anyone, not asking for war, if there's any clampdown on them, it is not because they have done anything wrong. And that is where I want you to also come in. Don't ever agree with people that says asking for self-determination is a call for war. It is not. This call for self-determination is the reaction to the failed partnership that every ethnic group in Nigeria was supposed to be enjoying. This protection that every ethnic group in Nigeria should be enjoying, equality and justice, which has been missing. The reaction to that is what brought up this. So when people are saying war, no. Call for self-determination is not a call for war. But we know and we expect the Nigerian authority, the Nigerian government to react with violence. And that they are going to react with violence shouldn't make us begin to say a call for revolution or a call for self-rule, a call for self-determination is a call for war. We will be helping them in justifying the violence they will bring, rather than us be prepared to counter them when they bring that violence, because there's something missing. There's something some of us are not really looking into. Yes, we know they will bring violence for people asking for self-determination, which is their legitimate right. But you don't know that when they bring that violence, people are also going to react. Yes. Whatever you now want to call it, whatever you want to call it at that time, war, civil war, revolution, it will be the spontaneous reaction to the people who failed the people. They failed to protect the people. They pushed the people to ask to part ways with the people that can't protect them, right? And instead of them to say, oh, okay, we are very sorry that we couldn't protect you. Do you get that now? We couldn't protect you. We have failed. Now, we want to listen to you. We believe that all our own theories, everything we've put together to make Nigeria united or work, hasn't worked. Now, let us open a channel to have a chat with, now that we have groups who have highlighted their differences, they have highlighted their reasons why they don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore. And their demands are legitimate. You can call it whatever you want to call it, because you don't like it, or because you don't understand it, or because you don't like the people behind it. Yes, we understand that. But that will not justify the fact that their demands are legitimate, and these demands are not overnight thought out demands. They are spontaneous reactions to the consequences of a failed country that continue to fail the people. And the people are not generally going to agree to wait or continue to believe what Tinubu says, or what Bukwari say, or what any other one Nigeria propagandist says. Do you understand that now? No matter what they say, there are people that are no longer going to believe. You know why? They have been waiting. They have been believing until now. They know they can no longer be trusted. What stops them if they genuinely love the people? What stops them to say, okay, fine. Okay, fine, we have failed. We agree. Let everybody agree. We cannot say we are doing well when our people have turned to refugees in another country because we couldn't protect them. when over 8 million of our people are already living in refugee camps in the country, abandoned by us, by our policies, by our failure. The economy is in shambles. The country is the poverty capital of the world. These are facts that proves that whatever they have been doing hasn't worked. In fact, it has failed. And the consequences of that is the rise in crime, which has led people to say, no, if you won't protect us, then we're not going to just wait and die. And we're not just going to say we're going to protect ourselves. We are going to not continue just protecting ourselves from those who will continue to come for us, since the politicians won't do it. So if they won't open that door, if they won't have that conversation, definitely, because they didn't and they won't, then the revolution is here already. People now believe in Sunday Igboho more than they believe in whatever Tinubu say. What does that tell you? That tells you that it's just going to be a matter of time before those who are even believing in Tinubu now, even themselves, when they become victims of all that is going on, they will begin to withdraw too. Common sense will begin to make sense. That even if they make Tinubu your president, what is he going to change when he is already dancing to everything they have established? They came to entrench this division, this supremacy, this overlordship. And so far, so good. Those who used to speak on behalf of Yoruba, those who rose to prominence on behalf of Yoruba, they have kept mute or came out to speak against the same Yoruba interest. Do you understand that now? So it's just going to be a matter of time. There are many people today who believe that the only solution now, is to get to a point where we have to break Nigeria up. Many of them today who are saying that today, who believe that today, a year ago, they still somehow believe that something can be done, something could be done. But many are coming to that reality now that as long as the people who are supposed, the people who are supposed to change that system continue to play to our own, play to our own vulnerability and continue to patch it and, avoid the consequences, we will continue to be victims. And as long as that, as much as that goes on, many more people are going to stop believing that Nigeria will work. So when that finally happens, call it revolution, call it anything. The likes of Tinubu and his co-travelers, the royal fathers in Yoruba land, royal fathers in Igbo land, everybody who is still saying that they have the solution, and calling those who are telling them that if you don't want an implosion, if you don't want a catastrophic implosion to happen soon, where everybody will have to run away like that, it is better now to start having that chat about how to peacefully break up Nigeria. It is going to come to that. It is the hard truth. But well, it depends on who is listening. Tinubu continued to dance to their tune. He said people should be ready to accommodate the jihadist killers because they have a solution to what they can give to them and stop them from killing. He's saying that because he needed to be politically correct. So they dragged him to, I think they dragged him to Kaduna in order for, just like what they did to him in 2017, 2018, after the 2015 gamble, which eventually backfired. They thought they were going to be closer to seat of power. They're going to control the resources. They're going to control who gets what, only for them to end up as crumb chasers, crumb eaters, and they are not even bold enough to speak their mind. So they dragged him back. He ran away. He ran away in 2016 because they said they were coming for him. He ran away. Those he promised to make them ministers, he couldn't make them ministers. Those he promised to make this and that at the time, the moment APC came to power, he couldn't do it. He had to run away. He ran to Equatorial Guinea, from Equatorial Guinea to South France. These are facts. Okay. So he ran away for about 2 years. In 2007, towards the end of 2017, 2018, they brought him back. They said he should come and be the reconciliator of APC. They even told him that they will give him APC to control. They told him that they will send Maiyegun away. After they used the same Maiyegun to humiliate him in their own selection process after the APC victory, yeah? So they disgraced Maiyegun and they told him, Tinubu, we want you to be the reconciliator of APC. We want you to bring everybody together because after the 2015 election, everywhere don't scatter. It has become yam pepper scatter scatter. They brought him back. He was so happy. He was so happy that he could feel so powerful again among those who believe in him in Yoruba land, the people he lied to in 2014. So they made him a reconciliator. You know the story. I'm only reminding you, okay? So that just to let you know that whatever they are doing for him right now, whatever paparazzi they are doing for him right now, they are just preparing him to be what? To be killed. And when I say killed, maybe not physically, maybe, but you will know what I'm talking about. Politically, he is finished. His balance is hanging onto whatever they tell him now. So they brought him back in 2017 to come and become reconciliator in chief after El-Rufai, the Kaduna Littlefinger, said there is no position in APC called national leader of APC to quench him. So they brought him back. Bokwari welcomed him. They took him to the Aso Rock. At that time, many Yorubas who believed in the lies, they were beginning to give up. They were, in fact, publicly rejecting APC, Egbekegbe, but they needed Tinubu, so they brought him back. You know the story that when he was going to Sokoto to go and settle Wahala between Tambuwa and others, before Tambuwa finally crossed to PDP, and he was on his way to Sokoto. He was on the tarmac at Sokoto Airport when El-Rufai, the plan was that he was going to tour the north. It's the same people who created the problem, who sent him away and disgraced him, the same people who brought him back to come and help them reconcile the criminals who were also waiting with their own hidden dagger, the knife that they are going to use to stab him, right? He was at Sokoto Airport. He was meant to go to Sokoto, then from Sokoto to Katsina, from Katsina to, I think, Kebbi. From Kebbi, he was going to go to Kaduna, or maybe he was going to go from Sokoto to Kaduna, then to Kebbi. He was going to tour some states where they were having problems in APC towards 2019 election, because they told him, if you can be a good boy, Bokwari said he's going to hand over to you. I don't know what is so special about that, becoming that president of Nigeria, that it seems to be the last thing Tinubu wanted. Somehow, he wanted to be the vice president. The Saraki and Co., they changed him. He had to appoint Ikene Shatabandu to be the toilet cleaner and the carer for the demented Bokwari, the breeding money queen in Aso Rock. So because they won't make him a vice president, so they made the Ikene Shatabandu vice president. After that, they thought they would control the country. They couldn't control the country. They sent him away. APC exploded. They brought him back. He was on his way to Sokoto, or he was in Sokoto when Kaduna Littlefinger, El-Rufai of Kaduna, when he was demolishing APC senators' houses in Kaduna. Person where they won't reconcile. They are trying to reconcile you people. You're already demolishing houses. APC versus APC. Last, they resorted into, you know what? The only solution is for us to rig the election. And if you want me to help you to rig the election, I want you to give me the party chairman. I want you to give me some control. So, of course, now, the breeding mannequin, the lifeless Bokwari, he doesn't even know if he's president. They were asking him. They say, oh, Bokwari, we just have to continue with Bokwari to do 8 years. So you, Tinubu, we can now give you the party. At least you did a lot. That was how Oshiomhole became your became their party chairman, no, the job they brought Oshiomhole to do was that since they control the federal government, Tinubu and co, they told them that we have to rig the election. And the way to rig the election is to use the military, use the police, okay? And another thing to do is that we have to be prepared to use the courts. So you need to bring somebody who can do the job. You see this Onogen is a Southerner. He's not going to do the job. You need to kick him out. Kick Onogen out and give us somebody, maybe a Sharia court or anybody, anything. Then you give me the party. I will do the rest of the job, the groundwork, the mobilization. Then give me money. That was the deal. We cannot reconcile APC. There is no way APC can work together. There is no way we can make APC win election again. We have to rig it. Plain and simple. And how do we do it? That's it. Bring the military out. So that was when Tinubu, abandoned the reconciliation meeting. That was when Tinubu was given the slot to bring Oshiomhole as the party chairman. So the only thing Tinubu didn't realize was it was a booby trap for him too. Yes, you want to control APC. At least you need to call a national Congress. National Congress where all the party stakeholders will have to vote for the chairman. But you know what we're going to do? We're just going to make we're going to make it a kangaroo one. Just, last, you can have your party chairman. You can control APC as you want. You can give anybody a governorship ticket as you want. But just make sure, say, APC is returned and Bokwari is returned. That was the deal. He did it for a selfish reason again. You remember the body loan money. You remember the bullion van at the body loan. It's part of the deal. We'll give you money. Go and do all you have to do. We'll pump it out. We'll use the military. We'll falsify the figure. We'll tell the loser to go to court. Whatever they want to do, they can go to hell. So then we'll change the judge. We'll change the Chief Justice of Nigeria from Onogen to Tanko technicality. You know all the story. That was how that went. It was all about 2023. If you deliver us in 2019, even if we have to keep the half of the country to get that, Tinubu, you will become president in 2023. But there was something that was missing. For those of you who believe that Tinubu is a smart politician, me, that you believe I no get experience, we told you, say everything go hand in very, very hot tears, okay? The Tinubu that they deceived in 2014 and he fell for it. They deceived him again in 2018, 2019. He fell for it too. Now, 2023 is 2 years away. The same Tinubu, he doesn't even consider his own health problem. He did not consider the coronavirus. He doesn't care about what will happen to him. He started going back to the same north to go and beg them and show loyalty to them.
See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout,
Maiyegun don't come,